Okay, this is GMR. Just charted it before, so it's got all my mess on it, but I've basically just taken the fibs from this high and this low here, and just the noticeable part of the chart is this big volume area here, and it's been a lot of selling in that area. You see this first bar here with this little volume spike here, with a long wick, so that's your smart money selling into demand, selling into mum and dad, and then it was all over from there. But still, it just goes to show it's still influencing price all through here in this sell zone. So it's gone down. And this is what we like to see when we're buying in our low risk areas, is these volume spikes right on the lows, just letting you know that perhaps there's some professional buyers in there coming in, and that's what's gives you your background strength, we call, and then you start looking for back tests for supply. You'll get one like this little one here with very low volume, and that's what they like to see. They like to if the professionals, when they want to, after they've accumulated, they want to mark up the price. They don't want to be buying, they don't want to be competing with sellers, so they try to make sure there's they just keep probing down for any potential sellers, find any potential stops, anyone who's willing to sell cheaper. Once that's exhausted, the price can go up. So, but you've got to have your background strength first, which we do. We have the volume on the low. We know it's buying because the pros sell at top, so they don't sell down the bottom unless something very drastic has happened. So once we see this little low volume test bar, we know, well, that's ideal for the pros to mark up. And sometimes they don't act on it, sometimes they do, but in this case they did. And once it got up here in the sell zone, they started selling. You can see, look at this really big. You can't see it because it's just closed on its open. Real long wick. It's all full of selling. Yeah, that's still influencing price now. Then we've had a period of where it's gone back, and then we've had this big mark up here. This, that's an even bigger volume spike. So we know there's pros selling it to demand on that. We know because prices come back down after that. And it sort of has gone up and down. It's been traded up and down, but it's you see all these long wicks everywhere. It stays numbered, and it hasn't been able to reach this median of this green fork. It's a logical median. It's a low, high, low. A logical high, low, high, and it's come back past the previous pivot. Is what they tend to do. And then it's come and supported on the trigger of this green fork. It's just I've put another red fork, which is just the first high up here, the lowest low, and then the next highest high. And once you start seeing the long wicks on that on the upper tine of a fork, that it's probably going to go back down. General rule with forks is the upper and lower tines repel price generally. If it breaks out, that's strong, and the median line attracts price if it's a good median. But anyway, it's created a pivot now on increasing volume. It's increasing volume and closed on its high and then gone up. So that's good, but it's really not. It doesn't compare to this sort of volume down here. So it's probably not that exciting, and you're coming up into this sell zone as resistance. So it's probably not a real safe spot to be buying at the moment. I think this is going to keep testing for supply here until supply is exhausted. And I suppose the positives are this this green trend line is holding. It's got a long wick on it, pulled away, got a long wick on the median, pulled away, and generally a widespread bar on a median line, especially with a long wick, it normally pivots back up, but it's probably going to retest this green tine. If it can't break into there, it's going to keep coming back down, and it might just consolidate in there for a bit. So that's GMR. You know, you probably the safe areas to buy are in this long wick here. It's up to you how bullish you are, I suppose, on the fundamentals, but you know, I personally probably wouldn't buy it when it's about to hit this sell zone up here, this high volume area. It needs it's going to need a lot of effort, a lot of volume to bust past that. So we'll just see what happens with that. That's GMR. Next one is Paladin Energy. What have I done? Got a couple of forks on it. Let's have a look at the daily. Okay. Okay, so we're at the 23.6 fib here on the daily, and it's had a big drop off. But here we go. Here's your volume spiking down here at the lows. So there's your so that's stopping volume. That's actually really strong. If you saw this volume up here, you'd be worried, but when it's down the bottom like this, and that's telling you there's, you know, perhaps there's some professional traders and they're professional buyers in there, and they don't buy and they don't sell down here. They sell at the top and buy at the bottom, and we're at a bottom. If they were selling, they'd have sold already by now, and they have. So this is professional buyers coming in. So there's your low risk area down there, and that's some serious buying. So so that's your background strength. So once we're confident that we have that background strength, we can then interpret everything that comes after that in terms of, okay, what are these guys going to do now? So price has come down, it's been bought, and they started buying before then even. It's been bought, price has gone back up, gone down, been bought, gone back up, and it's and there's generally more volume. What we're looking for now is some lower or some higher lows. We've got a little one there, and what we want when it comes back down, we want price to kick up a bit, but when it kicks up, we want those kicks up to be on lower volume. For instance, on this low here, we've got a low here with volume, then we've got a high low on less volume, and so that's telling it they're retesting for supply and happy that there's no sellers down in that area before they continue on. So here we're looking for, you're probably going to find they're going to try and shake it out back down to this big red bar and this green bar here, because there's obviously a lot of supply. I mean, they've bought off, you know, there's a lot of supply in that area, and as you can see with this volume here, so they may see price come back down into there and attempt to shake out any locked in buyers or any locked in previous buyers. But the other thing I notice is you've got this high volume area here, which is where there's a lot of buying in there. It's jumped over there. Let's see how they've gapped the line, gapped the open sort of over that high volume area, and now over the 23.6 fib. So that's quite bullish, but I think they'll keep dipping down in here. I mean, put your cheeky buy orders in around the 355, 350 mark. I'd just put some cheeky bids in, because you'll probably find they'll get filled. They'll back test it. It's up to you how bullish you are. But anyway, you've got background strength here, and it will keep testing this area. But once they're satisfied there's no supply left, it's just going to go up. It'll probably go back up to the median and back up again. So that's part of the, I know I'm liking it long term. Short term, you'll probably get filled if you put your order down here somewhere around this. Depends how game you are, I suppose. Next one is SBL. What have we done? I've just got a median line on this fork here. Hit the gap there, so it's got a lot of exact touches on it as well, so you know it's a good median. I know probably I'm not the only one looking at it. So, and then I've also drawn a trigger, which is just a simple trend line connecting the pivots of the fork. And see how this volume, this down bar's kissed it, and it's tried to close below it, but hasn't. It's come back up. Yeah, so that's good. What else do we notice? You notice your volume spikes here where price was sold into, here and here. So when you see your volume spikes and your long wicks, it sort of hints to you that the pros are in there, showing their hand, and they're probably selling, and that's still influencing price. Even today, price has come back down into that area now, testing for supply again, and looking to support around that area. You've got your big volume spike here right at the top, and had a bit of a go here. It's kept on going up. I've marked it up again because there's still obviously demand in the stock. And then I've sold into demand at the top, and then it's just fallen apart. And Japan went nuclear and it just fell apart totally. But anyway, low volume, high volume when Japan came in. Then we've still maintained high volume, and then prices started sort of slowing down. So that can be a good sign, but well, there's a lot of activity there, but I probably wouldn't be going it. The one thing I don't like is this long wick here. That's closed near its lows, and that's on volume. So, and it's also kissed. That's a back test of it's broken out of the fork and back test on a long wick. That's usually the kiss of death. So that's not that would bother me, especially if it's an exact kiss like that on a long wick. That normally means there's further downside. And I would suspect to this first warning line here, probably even, at least to this green trend line, it's going to retest down there. But you know, it's still going down. You haven't made you're still making lower lows, still making lower highs, and it's not safe yet, and probably won't be safe till, I don't know, until I get past that. I'm just connecting a couple of pivot points there, so it's not really safe yet, and there's not really, I mean, the volume's a bit all over the place. It's not enough to convince me that there's background strength coming in. There is obviously some buying coming in, but I'm not sure that it's enough, and that bothers me. That kiss on it's broken the fork and back test, and normally you sell those, and especially if you got a long wick on it.